Welcome to our Guitarists, everyone. I'm your host, Marissa. I'm here with my co-host, Dystro. Say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Well, happy end of August, guys. We are officially on our final day of August. Oh my goodness.
No!
I know,
But
what the
hey,
hell?
hey, tomorrow I'm gonna play Earth, Wind, and Fire September, okay?
Oh god, no. Please, no. No. Oh my god. Hard to believe we are at the end of summer, ladies and gentlemen. Well, technically not, because up here we're supposed to get like 90-degree weather next week. So,
And it's never ending summer down here, so.
yeah, you Floridians, you. Um,
It's you.
Anyways, I hope everybody had a very promising August. August was actually not bad, to be honest with you all. To be honest, I had a really good August.
I had a good August as well, to be honest.
I'm still sad the fair is over, but you can't do anything about that.
Yeah, well,
But once again, we'll be entering another month into the podcast journey here. And honestly, this year is just flying by. We're already almost 9 months into the year.
scary.
Ugh. But nonetheless, apparently, people in Canada, I know my cousin over in Canada, he just started school back up today. Um, So best wishes to everybody. I've been saying this almost every day now for the last week. Best wishes to everybody who's starting school back up very soon. My sisters start a week from today on the 7th. So best wishes to everybody heading back to school or even going back to college or even just starting college for that matter. Stay safe out there. The world can be kind of a cruel place, but you make it the way you want it to be. So that's my words of wisdom there. Make the world a place that you want to live in.
Word said. Word said.
Anyways, I hope everybody is hanging in there. Thank you guys for joining the episode. We hope you enjoy. So, I feel like we probably should have done this episode a little bit sooner, but we've had a lot of episodes that we've just wanted to get pushed out to you guys ASAP. So, we kind of had to put some on the pedestal a little bit sooner than the rest, but that's okay. Tonight is one of those nights where we are going to discuss our most memorable guitarists, whether they're living or they're dead. Now, we've done this, I believe, with drummers, and we've also done this with vocalists. So, if you guys have not checked those two episodes out yet, please feel free to go ahead and check those out. I think the drummers one we did at the end of last year, and then our vocalist one we just did a few months back. So, please
Mhm.
go ahead and check those out before skipping to this episode. So let's see. So guitars play a big role in the band as well. Just as pretty much any role in the band that you have, they all play a big part. Especially guitars. Guitarists are kind of what give you your big sound, like the in-your-face sound. Like sure, vocalists do that too, but the guitarist is what really helps set the mood for the song.
Mhm.
Whether it's going to be a ballad, slow, or really powerful rock, in-your-face, heavy metal sort of stuff. So me and Daisho have spent about a week now coming up with a good list of guitarists to talk about on the show. Now, tonight is part one of the memorable guitarists. As you guys remember, we usually do these in two parts because we want to try to get to everybody on our list. So, my list isn't actually as big as I thought it was going to be, but there's a lot of big names on here for the most part, and I'm sure that your list is the same way.
Mhm. Yep.
So, deep breath, and I guess let's get into it. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
um, I'm probably gonna start off with like a very big one out of the way, just to get it out of the way.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna go with Angus Young.
Ah, yes. One half of the Young Brothers. Actually, we probably should do it this way. Let's do both brothers together.
That sounds fair. That's
Let's
fair.
do Angus and Malcolm together. We're going to talk about Angus first. Obviously, when you think of AC/DC, number one, you usually think of Angus. Angus is one of the best guitar players in the world, even to this day. He's still alive. Obviously, they do not tour, but they're
Mm-mm.
doing the Power Trip Festival in October, and I'm very excited to see video from that if somebody decides to take video. Um, my God, Angus, man, like, how often do you see a guitarist like running across the stage like a madman, like bobbing his head back and forth, and like a chicken. Like, oh my
And
god.
not causing himself to get whiplash.
That's what I've always wondered. Like, I've always asked myself, how does he not get sick or dizzy doing that? Like,
It's probably because of like years of practice, like years of him doing it and all that stuff. It's like I wonder how it came about him doing it too, because like when we saw like like videos and stuff like that, it's like he wasn't really bobbing his head that much, but then like later on, like like Thunderstruck for example, like he was just like going back and forth and all that stuff, and like he's just bobbing up his head up and down and all that stuff. I'm like, dude, like you're gonna get yourself whiplash if you keep doing that.
I think the music video that comes to mind when it comes to Angus doing that is like anything from the Highway to Hell album, to be honest. That's where it was like really like you could notice it. Like probably the track If You Want Blood, You Got It. Like that's the one that I really go to for that.
The one I think the one for me is Thunderstruck or oh god, what is it? Um the one that we always make fun of with Bond when he
Oh,
goes up to heaven.
oh no.
That one. That
Let There Be Rock.
yeah, Let There Be Rock. That one comes to mind as well.
Oh God, no.
Oh god, yes.
So Angus is the lead guitarist, while
Mhm,
Malcolm does the rhythm guitar. Now, this is really interesting because not a lot of bands have both. Usually, the band either has one or the other. This is the case where they have both, and it actually works. Malcolm
mhm,
does really good at rhythm guitar. It kind of sets the rhythm for the rest of the songs, while
mhm,
Angus is out there like jamming it up with like the lead guitar.
mhm.
Um, so like man, like Malcolm's just chill. Like he's just chill in the back with fucking Cliff. Or if you're thinking old ACC, you're probably thinking of like Mark Evans because he was on bass at the time, and then Cliff didn't come in till Powerage. But yeah, you just see Malcolm in the back. He's just chilling, like doing his thing.
And he's backup vocals too, so it's like
He is.
it kind of works.
It does. It really does. And like I think we're gonna see that a little bit on this list. There's a couple people that played more than one role in the band. I
Mm-hmm.
think I've got two right off the bat that I could tell you after. But this is like, man, what a duo for brothers. Like it's not often you see a brother duo in a band, let alone a sibling duo in a band. I really think we need to do an episode just focusing on sibling duos in rock and roll bands. Like that would be really cool.
Yeah, there's another sibling duo that comes to mind too.
I've
I
got a
think
couple of them in mind.
yeah, I got a couple in mind.
We'll save that for a future episode, though. We don't want to get too carried away.
Mm-mm.
But yes, Angus and Malcolm, what a duo! Like,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, hands down, two of the best guitarists of all time. God bless Malcolm. Unfortunately, Malcolm passed away in November of 2017. Sadly, due to I think it was like dementia he'd passed away from. He was in his 60s. I remember hearing about it. I was like, damn. And the sad thing was, this was like about a month after Tom Petty had passed away. So 2017 was a bit of a shitty year for musicians.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I guess we can skip forward. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a guy that kind of plays two roles in this band. He goes by the name Patrick Stump. Now, everyone may know him as vocalist. I think I mentioned him in the vocalist video.
Mhm.
But he also plays guitar.
Yeah. He plays lead, and then oh god, what is it?
Joe.
Joe. He plays rhythm.
Okay, let's talk about them both actually. Let's just do that. Like let's just get the duos out of the way, I guess you could say. So Patrick, yeah, he is the lead vocalist, but he also does lead guitar, and that is huge. You know how hard that is to play a guitar while singing at the same time, let alone lead guitar. Like that's a huge responsibility.
Yeah, and then Joe's gotta keep the rhythm, like you said, with like Malcolm. And I was about to say, I know Pete, like when we get to that era of the musician stuff, he does backup vocals too. So it's like they all play a certain part in the band and stuff, and they gotta keep up with tempo and the rhythm and all that stuff to make sure they're not late on anything. So it takes a lot of work.
It does. It really does. And I give props to Patrick because Patrick can hit those vocals
The high notes.
perfectly. Yes. And my God, he is just amazing. Honest to God. And Joe's good too. Like he's good at, with his rhythm too, like with his rhythm guitar.
Mhm.
And like, to be honest, I never knew Patrick played lead guitar. I thought it was just like rhythm guitar he did or something. No, it was actually lead guitar. I was like, wow, this man's working into overdrive.
Gotta keep the fedora on as well.
Oh yeah. Well, unless you're looking at like Mania era. Mania era, he was wearing just like a flat cap kind of thing.
Right, yeah.
Which, by the way, we're going to get to our Fall Out Boy pilgrimage after we finish Van Halen. And I am over the moon about Fall Out Boy because it's going to take me back to my middle school days.
Same.
Oh, man. It's like how Def Leppard like took me back to like my childhood days. This is going to
Right.
take me back to middle school days. But, anyways, it is your turn, my friend. Who shall you pick off your list?
All right. I'm gonna go with somebody that I've been listening to recently. And they're from Alter Bridge.
Ooh.
Also Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, which is Miles Kennedy. He
Yes.
does vocals and lead guitar.
I've heard of his stuff from the Miles Kennedy and the Conspiracists. Is that the name of the group you said?
Yeah, Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. They also play with
Oh, that.
Slash.
Yeah, I've heard their stuff on Chilm. They've played
Hmm.
some of their stuff. It's really good. It is
Hmm.
absolutely really good. I didn't know
Um,
he does the guitar as well.
yeah, he does lead guitar in Ultra Bridge.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I
Um.
don't know too much about him as I don't know much of the Alter Bridge stuff, but I do know a little bit of his other project that you were just talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, he has a very strong vocal range for starters. Like, absolutely out of the water. And
Yeah.
his guitar range sounds good too, like based off of what I heard from a couple of the Alter Bridge songs that I've heard.
Mhm. Well, actually, I take that back. Miles Kennedy plays rhythm guitar.
Oh,
I forgot about that.
hey, it still counts.
Mark Tremonti, he plays lead.
Okay, so that's cool. Both
Yeah.
do both have their own roles in the band, and
Mhm.
that's cool. Um, Now, is there anything you like? Because you know him more than I do. Is there anything that you really could call out about this guy?
I mean, like from what I've heard, like when he used to play with Slash, in Miles Kennedy the Conspirators, um, I don't think he didn't play lead at all. Like he played rhythm with Slash because Slash was lead obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and like I think they played off each other well because like Slash, like he could shred and all that stuff, but like Miles, like he plays that vocal range kind of well too, because like compared to Patrick Stump and stuff, he can hit those high notes too. It One song comes to mind is I think Native Son as well. Um, from 2013, in their album Freedom, and his vocal range, like he can go like very very low sometimes, but then he can go very very high. Like I heard him recently. He was just like he hit those high notes like it was nothing, and then went back down to like normal voice. I was like, damn.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I had to put him on this list. Like he was like my third person on this list.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Literally,
So
my first two people were the Young Brothers. That was my first two. Like right off the bat, like I always think of Angus and Malcolm.
like yeah, like as soon as like before we even started recording, I was like, damn it, I almost forgot to put Angus on there. I was like, oh my god, that would have been so horrible.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna go with kind of more of a classic person. I think everybody in rock and roll history has to know who this guy is. I'm talking about David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Absolutely love his guitar work, especially on Comfortably Numb. I mean, if you listen to Comfortably Numb and you listen to that guitar solo at the end, it just pulls and pulls and pulls at you. Like it eats away at you. And like,
Mhm.
if you are like me and Dystro here, who have seen the Wall movie in its entirety, and you hear Comfortably Numb, you just remember the whole scene where Pink is found unconscious. They're trying to revive him, and it's not looking good. But yeah, like that when you think of that scene and then you hear the guitar solo, like it all fits together, it comes together that this is a very serious situation. And this whole movie in general is just really fucked up. But man, David Gilmour, he can really portray emotion with that guitar, and that's really, really like how I'll put it. It's not only unique, but it's very clever. Very, very
Mhm.
clever way of writing music. And that's kind of what Pink Floyd's about. They do portray a lot of emotions and angst in not only their lyrics, but in guitar work as well. In this case,
Mhm.
um, this is one of those examples. Comfortably Numb's like my perfect example for that. But not only that, David Gilmour also does vocals as well.
Mhm.
He has shared vocals with Roger Waters in the past when Roger Waters was still in Pink Floyd. But after the final cut, which was the album they did back in the early 80s, that album was really bad, by the way. After that album, Roger Waters left the band and David Gilmour took over full time for vocals. And since then, he's been lead vocalist for Pink Floyd. So he does play more than one role. And that's what's really cool about this. A lot of these people on these lists for the guitarists, they play more than one role in the band. So that's even cooler that they can do that. Like it's hard to do two roles in one.
Mhm.
It's hard to focus even on just one role. Like I can't even play guitar.
Right. It's kind of hard to do like multiple roles in a band. Like oh God, Pierre from Simple Plan, like he does lead vocals and he does bass on occasion. So
Oh, I didn't know he does bass.
yeah, he does bass on occasion.
Well, we're gonna have to mention him when we do the bass players.
Yeah.
All right, who's next for you?
All right. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna do three people in one because they're all from the same band.
Is this the Foo Fighters?
Yes. Dave, Chris, and Pat.
Fuck yeah, we're doing Chris first. We gotta do
Okay.
Chris first.
Yeah, because since he's the baby,
He's
he's
a baby. I love him.
Yeah, I put Dave, and I was like, okay, I had to put Chris, and then like later on down the list, I was like, I gotta put Pat. Like, I mean, like,
Fuck
come on.
yes.
So I had to put all like I. That's why I wanted to do all three, because since they're in the same damn group, so
I love Pat. But let's talk about Chris first. Now, what does he do?
I think he does rhythm. I think.
Why did none of us write this down? This is a fucking
Well,
crime.
let me see. Let me see.
I got it. I got it. So Chris does lead guitar.
Okay, because I thought because well I know Dave does lead too, so
Yeah, and Pat does. I think he
rhythm
does
I
rhythm.
think. Yeah, he does rhythm, and then Chris
Yeah,
and Dave their lead. Yeah, that's right. I mean, what is not to say about Chris? I mean,
I
come
love
on,
Chris.
he's
I'm actually glad they kind of recruited him into the band after There's Nothing Left to Lose. He's the perfect fit. He really
mhm,
is.
for sure. Yeah.
I won't lie, but every time, like when we were first starting the Foo Fighter stuff, I got him and Nate mixed up.
Oh yeah,
I'm serious. Like I could not tell who was Chris and who was Nate. I still
yeah,
sometimes get them mixed up. Sometimes.
yeah. Because I know Nate does bass.
I love him. But yeah, Chris, man, he can kill it on the fucking guitar. Like I've like when we did the Wasting Light live garage performance that we watched,
That's what I was gonna
I was
say.
watching Chris play. I'm like, he's good. Like he can do it. Like he can kill it.
Especially on oh god, Bridge Burning,
White
uh,
Limo is like my go-to.
and then A Matter of Time for me too.
Oh yeah, that song. The old
We're not going
ladies
to mention the
movies.
video, but we're just going to mention the song.
Yes. Okay, so let's save Pat Smear for last because he's the legend here. But Dave Grohl. Now, not only is Dave a vocalist, and not only is he a guitar player, but we also mentioned him in the drum video because he is a drummer.
hmm
He used to be the drummer for Nirvana until Kurt sadly had passed away. And then he created
hmm
Foo Fighters, and now he's a singer and a guitar player.
Yeah.
He too can kill it on guitar. Like I've watched him play. Like he's good too.
hmm Like, for some reason, like my uncle, before he had passed like many, many years ago, I swear to God, I thought he was like Dave Grohl's body double. And I was
Stunt
like,
double.
yeah, I thought it was his stunt double or something. And I was just like, why does he look like him? But the face is so different. Like,
Oh god.
and he would always, my uncle, had passed, and his one of his inspirations was always Dave Grohl,
Hell yeah.
always, because like he played by ear, he could play by
Yeah.
ear and stuff, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, I wish I could do that, but it's like I can play air drums by ear, because like I'd have to like learn the same rhythm different times, but it's like as soon as I get it down, I'm good. And I think Dave's like, he's very good at that. Like he played all the same, like he played different instruments on the debut album for Foo Fighters.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because he did bass, guitar, drums, vocals. Like he did all of that by himself.
He's a one-man band at that point.
Yeah. But yeah, Dave's the GOAT. I'm not gonna say anything more about that.
And then we got Mr. Pat Smear. Yeah.
Pat Smear.
Everybody loves Pat. Like I still say this. He has literally the most unfortunate name on the fucking face of the
Smear.
planet. It's just he has the most unfortunate name on the face of the planet. Like, poor guy.
Did you get your patch smear done? What?
I swear, whenever I go to get that done, I'm literally just gonna think of him, and it's gonna make it so much better. Like, I'm not even gonna lie.
You're just gonna like think in your head like, yeah, I'm gonna get my patch smear done today.
Oh, it's fucking Pat Smear.
That'd be fucking funny if like Pat Smear was your
Stop.
doctor.
No, stop.
That would be hilarious.
Listen, if that's the way I gotta cope through it, that's fine. It works. Oh my god.
He's the all-time great. He's been there from the start.
Well, technically yes, but then he left.
And then came back.
Yeah, he left. What wasn't it like during before I think it was like during the tour for The Color and the Shape. It was before they did There's Nothing Left to Lose, because that was a 3-piece album. They did with Nate and Taylor and Dave.
Mm.
And Pat Smear came back.
Yeah.
Bro's a legend. Isn't he like, I think he's like 65. He just had a birthday on like August 5th. I remember that. And he's the oldest member of the group, I believe. He's 65.
He's 64.
Oh, he's 64. That's right. He'll be 65 next year. Close enough. But yeah, he's the oldest member of the group, believe it or not, which is crazy.
Bastard.
But he doesn't even look that old, to be honest. Like, he looks like one of those like wise people, like the wisest person of the group that knows like everything.
Wisest people. I mean, hey, his shoot name is George Albert Rutenberg. So
then why the fuck did he choose to be called Pat Smear?
That's just his stage name. That's just his stage name.
That's so unfortunate. Unless he actually picked that on purpose. Like, I actually
really don't know, to be honest with you.
I actually want to look into that on my own.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Unless I get to meet him in real life at one point.
Like, so why did you come up with the name Pat Smear?
Pat Smear. I swear, if he actually says like it was supposed to be like a play on words, I'm gonna cry.
That would be hilarious.
But anyways, yeah, he's amazing. He's rhythm guitarist for Foo Fighters. He's just awesome. Like you said, he's been there since the start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he came back. He fits.
Yeah.
Now Foo Fighters, I think they have like 6 people. Like, that's huge. It's like that's like Slipknot. Slipknot has like 7 or 8 people. Like,
yeah.
They're a whole ass fucking orchestra.
But hey, they play their own part in the band, which is good by us.
Yeah. All right, so I think we have time for one more, and it's actually my pick. So let's end with Eddie Van Halen. I mean, how can you not?
Yeah, you can't.
How can you not, ladies and gentlemen? When you think of a guitar player, Eddie Van Halen has to cross your mind at least one time. And the funny thing is, today I was doing some like lurking around on Valerie Bertinelli's Instagram page, and that's Eddie's wife, by the way. Valerie, his first wife. She's beautiful, by the way. I was like little like searching around, and I found some like pictures from like way back of her and Eddie. And I kind of got a little choked up because like I absolutely love Van Halen. and Van Halen is nothing without Eddie. So sadly, because he had passed in October of 2020, sadly since he passed, we won't ever get a Van Halen reunion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sad thing because I think they were talking about doing one before his passing. So like that's kind of what breaks my heart a little bit right there.
Mm-hmm. It's sad to see like one of the all-time greats of all time. Like he passed at 65.
He had cancer, I know that.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks.
It does. And the thing is, now he has a son by the name of Wolfgang, who I have promoted on this channel a lot. I've promoted his stuff to you guys. He just released an album, Mammoth 2. Go check it out if you haven't already. He's kind of basically following in the footsteps of his father, and he's doing a great job. He really is. He has definitely grown tenfold. He's opened up for Metallica. I think he's doing his own tour as well. He does a Sirius XM show as well. I know he did it last year during the fall. I think he still does it. I think it's on Classic Rewind. He does a show there a few times a week, I believe. It's been a while since I've listened, so I really don't know. But this is what I remember. He did a show on Sirius XM. He's just great. And honestly, it's good that he's carrying on the Van Halen legacy. It's just a shame we're not going to get a Van Halen reunion anytime soon, obviously, because Eddie is gone. But when I think of Eddie, I think of Eruption. I have to think of that song. Like, absolutely a minute and something odd seconds of just pure in your face, rah, guitar.
You should listen to the live version.
Oh man, we gotta do that.
I've heard the live version one. It's like him and David and Michael and Alex, like, they're just all just hanging out and stuff. And you see, like, Eddie on the stage, like he's got his guitar, and stuff. I mean, he's probably smoking something, whatever. And
He smokes cigarettes.
And then like he's like drinking a little bit, and it's not too tipsy, but he's just drinking a little bit. And then like he starts playing a little bit, and then you hear stuff like that, and then like it goes on for like I don't know, like maybe 3-4 minutes after that, if that. Because it's like with the live version and stuff, it's that you could get to do whatever you want, as long as it's the same song.
Yeah.
But like I remember it was like I think the whole video was like 6-7 minutes, maybe almost 8 or something. Yeah, we need to definitely do that. I remember that video vividly.
We'll have to do it during our Van Halen pilgrimage because we're in the middle of that right now. Now, what's really cool about Eddie, not only is he a fantastic guitar player, but starting on the 1984 album, Eddie started playing keyboard as well. Now, this kind of took a lot of Van Halen fans by surprise because they're like, no, we want the Eddie who plays the guitar. Listen, sometimes you gotta accept change, and sometimes change is for the good. And look at 1984, that album produced Van Halen's first #1 hit, Jump. So, suck it up and deal with it. Eddie is Eddie. Like, let Eddie do his thing. He wants to play guitar, let him play guitar. If he wants to play keyboard, let him play keyboard. He's good. He's just naturally gifted. He's a naturally gifted musician. And I feel like his legacy will live on in every single future guitarist. Because, like, I feel like if you're going to become a guitarist nowadays in the 21st century, you have to look up Eddie Van Halen. Like, you absolutely have to. Like, he's, like, the go-to, like, guitar model for you.
So you might not be the next Eddie Van Halen, but you could also, try to follow in the footsteps of his greatness.
Absolutely. And that goes just about for any of these guitarists that we mentioned in this episode. Malcolm, Angus, Dave, David Gilmour, like anybody we've mentioned in this episode, that goes for any of them. Like, follow in their footsteps. Like, don't let anybody slow you down.
Mm-hmm.
But that wraps up part 1 of our most memorable guitarists. I hope you guys enjoyed. If we didn't get to who you're thinking about, don't fret. We do have part 2 coming up later on in September, so don't worry about that. To be exact, let me see. I'm going to have to switch some things around on my calendar, it looks like. I think I might have forgotten to add a part 2 on here. So, Yeah, I think that's because I did this calendar way ahead. But no,
Hmm.
don't fret. I will add a part two. Um, so that'll be probably towards the middle of September. You might have to wait a little bit, but it's okay because we got a lot of episodes coming to you guys.
Hmm.
So, our next episode, which will be this Sunday, our first episode of September, by the way, we're finally getting around to doing another Year in Wrestling episode. Originally, if you guys remember, we were supposed to do an episode for Sunday, August 6th, which was opening day of Fair Week here. Unfortunately, the day we were supposed to record that episode, I had cell tower issues. My cell tower was completely down. So unfortunately, I was unable to record an episode with Dystro that night for that day. So we ended up pushing that episode back by a whole month. But now we're finally doing it. A Year in Wrestling 2013 and 2014. We're going to combine the 2 years together because those 2 years of wrestling are I think it's probably the most memorable years of wrestling for me, besides 2016. Uh, they 2013 and 2014 is when I really started to focus in on wrestling as a kid. I think I was like 11 or 12 going into that. So I'm very excited to revisit them years because that is a very important time in my life. And Dystro took notes, so I'm going to have to go through those notes this weekend and see what he came up with for you guys. We haven't done a Year in Wrestling episode in a little while, so I'm kind of excited for this.
Yeah, me too.
It's gonna be a good one. So
It's
if you
gonna be a
guys,
long one.
it's gonna be a long one, yeah. So you guys better buckle up. But if you guys want to see that, be sure to tune in this Sunday. It's gonna be a great way to open up September. Um, so another thing I need to mention to you guys, October's coming up, and you know what that means? Spoopy season.
Spooky season.
Yeah, Spoopy Season's making a comeback to the show. And if you guys don't remember, last year for Spoopy Season, we did a whole month's worth of Halloween themed episodes. And I think we're going to try to do that again this year. I'd like to get Corey to come back
Oh,
and do another serial killers episode with us.
oh Christ.
We have to. Like, that episode was great. We went on like a 55-minute tangent about our serial
Hmm.
killers.
Mostly Corey, but
But it was good because like we were learning stuff. So like I feel like we should do that again. But we are looking for people to join us for Spoopy Season on the show. We haven't had a guest on the show since Corey actually. So even if you're a recurring member of the show, if you guys want to come back and do an episode with us, shoot us a DM somewhere. You could also click on our Linktree link. There should be a link that says podcast guest application. Go ahead and just fill that out, even if you've already filled it out. Please go ahead and refill it out. Or, like I said, you can just contact one of us on social media. Once again, that's also in our Linktree, in our bio of the video. So go ahead and check that out. Because, yes, we are looking for new people to come and join the show. Like I said, especially for Spoopy Season this year, I want to get some people on here with us. Like, I don't even care if it's people from the past. Like, we got to get some people on here.
I would love to get Undisputed, our friend Undisputed, on one of the like wrestling episodes because he's got a lot of knowledge that
He's like the wrestling encyclopedia.
yeah, like I think all three of us would just be on like an hour tangent.
Oh my god, like we should do like Halloween themed wrestling matches from the past.
I would want to have Undisputed on there. That's my boy.
Yes, that'd be dope. That'd be cool.
That's my man. That's my
We'll
boy.
see though. We'll see. So we'll figure it out. But I just want to let you guys know Spoopy Season is coming and we are going to be doing something for October. So stay tuned for that. But we got to get through September first. So let's hit it. Anyways, song of the night, Dystro. What do you have for us tonight?
So I am going to go with a song that hit its 18th anniversary today.
What the fuck?
It's by Green Day.
Oh, that song.
What the fuck? Oh, that song. It's been 18 years.
Yes, the classic Green Day song. Wow. So, fun little fact, this song was written by the singer himself about his dad who had passed away at a very young age when he was just a little kid. And since then, he was always telling his mom, "Wake me up when September ends," because he literally passed away like the first day of September.
That's
It is. It's very sad. But that's today's song of the night, "Wake Me Up When September Ends" by Green Day. What a classic. So if you guys want to check that out, there will be a link at the end of the episode towards the very top right hand corner. Go ahead and click on that. There is a music video, so I will put the music video for you guys to go check out. If you guys stuck around to the very end, we greatly appreciate your support. Be sure to go ahead and follow us on social media, like I had mentioned before, on our Linktree page, which is in the description below of this video. That'll help you guys keep up to date with our show. We've got Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok. I believe our personal Instagrams are there as well, and I think personal Twitter. I don't even know. I haven't updated that thing in forever. So go ahead and check that out. It's also important to keep up to date with us on the YouTube community page right on our channel. You click on our page, you go to the community tab, and basically all updates about technical difficulties will be posted there if and when it happens. So be sure to pay attention to that as well. Dystro's YouTube channel is also in that Linktree description as well. He posts weekly gaming content because when we're not doing the podcast, 9 chances out of 10 we're playing video games. What are you at right now for subscribers?
I'm at 849 still, but maybe by tomorrow I'll be at 850 or more.
Okay, well, that's not bad. We're trying to get you to 900 by the end of September, so we got a whole month to go. Let's get that guy to 900, please. Go share his stuff around. Go send him some love. Go subscribe to him. And once again, take a listen to tonight's song of the night, "Wake Me Up When September Ends" by Green Day. And that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you guys in September. Peace.
Peace.